Okay, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's November 23rd of 2023. It's almost 5:30 p.m. I have been busy all day long. Darlene, the ex-wife, has just been uh, calling me for different reasons to get her something or turn off something or turn on something or whatever. So I haven't accomplished very much and the day is almost over. Well, okay. I made a change here. I added back the second monitor. Okay. So that helps me. I switched cameras. I think this is the Avery Media camera. I'm not sure that that's where I want it right now, but I just put it on there real quick because I wanted to get back here with you for a little bit. Avery Media PW513 is the what the camera is called. Darlene has medication that comes in that has to be refrigerated, and then our freezer or the refrigerator, the temperature dropped down, and maintenance guy came over and he fixed. I didn't know that in the top of the freezer, I knew that's where the cold air comes in there, and then it goes down. There's no refrigeration part in the bottom. It comes from, the freezer down. And I did not know that up there that there was a fan behind the thing that was up there. So he came over and he got the fan going. So I guess our medicine will be all right. We've got a thermostat or a thermometer or whatever. And then she thought of the fact that I have one of those small office refrigerators that you can put, cans of pop in or something. And let me go over. It hasn't been in there. There was a refrigerator. The thermometer should pick it up. Let me go see what the temperature is. The medicine's not in there yet, but I just want to see what the temperature is. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. The temperature in that little refrigerator was 42, and Darlene's medicine 46, or below, 46, 40 can't be above 42. So that will work for us. So that emergency was taken care of today. I'm kidding, of course. That's not an emergency. So I like this camera being here, except there's no good side for my face. And definitely it's not this side. Well, I don't have a good side for it. The Avery Media camera, the bottom part is not the camera's broke, but the thing that it goes in, which is part of the camera, it's loose or it won't stay or something, so that's a little bit of a problem. The Avery Media does give a nice view. The K-Pro, Razer K-Pro Pro It it's one I normally use, and it does a really good job. And I've got some other cameras. So if you watch the previous video, this is the next video. I changed something around that I was having a problem with, and that's corrected for right now. Oh, wait a minute. I've been just haven't had time all day. It's if it's not one thing after another, it's just well, women, goddamn women, I tell you. I got those 3 down. If I sound proud of that, it's really embarrassing to say this, but I got married at age 26. At age 26, I still could not, until I got married, then you can take a lot of crap. I could not swallow pills. And I remember about that time, 26, right after that or whatever, I had prescriptions filled, and I had the doctor write the prescription. And I went to the pharmacy, and then the pharmacy, I was like, "Is this for a child?" I said, "No, it's for me." Well, it's because it was in drinkable or whatever. So I blame my mother, I guess, and the landlady, Mrs. Hannah. We had come back from California, my parents. I mean, I didn't drive or anything, but during World War II, my mother and father worked in California and building Liberty ships. And so then World War II ended. We came home to Missouri, and then my parents rented a room in Mrs. Hannah's house. She was a seamstress, so she had those dummies all over the place. And then she rented out another room or two or whatever. And my mother we stayed there like for 1 year or less. And my mother remained in contact with this lady, Mrs. Hannah, for many, many, many years. And later in life, Mrs. Hannah, she raised worms in her yard to naproxen. There you go. So Mrs. Hannah raised worms, and she got an infection, and it was lockjaw, and she died from it. I guess the worms and the ground, the stuff. And so I spent 30 years working hospital security, and several times I ask, because everybody that comes in, have you had your tetanus shot? Now, of course, when I was working as a welder and a boilermaker and that type of stuff, I made sure I had a tetanus shot because there was metal around and rust and all kinds of stuff. So I made sure. But, the hospitals and doctors' offices, have you had your tetanus shot? So anyway, at some point I started asking it, like the nurse, have you ever had anybody who ever had tetanus? Nope. And nobody ever, I asked some doctors, nope, never heard of it, And of course they'd heard of the tetanus shot. So there's somebody who actually got tetanus and died. Oh, I got sidetracked. So anyway, I couldn't swallow medications. Kind of embarrassing. Let's make up an excuse for me. This guy couldn't, anyway. No need to now. I can swallow a pill. So anyway, I guess I was like 5 because I was in kindergarten. That's why my parents rented that room, because there was a school right there, and I had to go to kindergarten. And I wonder in other countries, what do they call it? And maybe it's probably not called kindergarten. It's probably not the horseman school. So, but I mean, what do you consider that? 5th grade, 4th grade or something? I'm not sure. But anyway, I guess I had to take a pill or something. And my parent, I got taken to the doctor, and then, okay, you need the pill. And so my mother, who I never called mother, she was Betty, tried to give me a pill, and I would not swallow it. And she tried all kinds of things, and then she called for Mrs. Hannah, and one of them sat on me, one of them put put a pill in my mouth, or, put their hand over my mouth. I wonder if I was being sexually molested. I don't think so, unfortunately. But I positively would not swallow a pill. Couldn't swallow a pill. But maybe the reason I couldn't swallow it anymore was because of sitting on me, choking me, and everything else. Just kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding. That actually happened. But now I can swallow a pill. Let's see, what else is new? I changed the setup here. That's why I added back a second monitor. If you watch the previous video, you'll know why. You'll see me struggling with. So I'm back now to having 2 monitors. This will work out okay. But I had everything set really nice. And now I've got, the computer is setting this way and all that kind of stuff. And before I had the speakers right at the right, now they're further apart, and one's higher than the other. And life is rugged. Let's see here. There are cameras that you can get, like for this, that will rotate, and it will track you and zoom in and zoom out, all types of things. I've got my Sputnik t-shirt on, or not t-shirt, sweater, I guess. I tracked Sputnik 1, the first satellite to go into orbit that USSR sent into orbit, and I tracked it with my Helicopter's S-38D receiver. And I tracked other satellites also. But eventually they moved higher in frequency where I didn't have when I was doing my radio program that was broadcast over WREL Radio New York Worldwide, called a DX program. That's not the name of it, but there was a guy, Elmo Melton, a ham radio operator in Kansas City, Missouri. He made a 45 RPM record that he sold, I guess. And he let me every week play one of the radio signals that he had picked up. He had a hell of a, I didn't see it, but he had a hell of a setup. At least NASA, what they called NASA then? I know at least one satellite they launched, and they didn't get any signals from it. And so they were, I think there are stations around the world were trying to pick it up and find the signal, and he located it for them and contacted them and told them, the information, apogee, perigee, whatever he could get. I don't know what he could get at that point. But my ham radio license had expired, and I knew it was going to happen because it was 7 years, I think, before your license expires, something like that, I think. And I hadn't accessed the FCC site in 7 years. I'm not even sure. I think I might have gone through an amateur radio club, taken the paid the money for the little whatever and gone. I can't remember now. It's been so long. But I knew when I went to the FCC site, I thought, I haven't been there in 7 years, and I don't remember what username, password, or anything else that I used. So I went there and went round. So about 2 days, I think the first day, couldn't gain access, and I tried all the options that you had. And I went back the next day. I think I did about 4 hours of it, and then I decided, that's it. Fuck it. I give up, I actually paid, to the FCC, well, the Republicans mainly in government, but some Democrats too, I'm sure, because it had to be voted on. It used to be that a ham radio license, it didn't really cost you anything, I don't think. Well, you had to pay a little bit to be tested, a little bit. But the Republicans decided that, hey, these radio frequencies are actually valuable. All these new telecommunications and cell phone companies, they would like additional bandwidth, so they decided that they should sell it. And if somebody needed a license, you were going to have to pay for it. So after everything that ham radio operators have done over the years, and they've done a tremendous amount in every arena, they have to pay a fee in order to get their license so that they can be of use to you. So I made the switch here, but so this is working for me. But now I need to go in and do some fine tuning to it. But excuse me. Maybe I should just stop here and then do what I need to do around here. I can't even lay down. The bed over there has stuff all over it. I'm having cataracts removed in January, and I was given great information by the doctor's office or whatever that's going to do it. I can't find the information they gave me. So I'm going to have to call them here in a few days and tell them that I lost the information. I knew it was important, and I put it someplace that I knew it would be safe. Now, Are any of you people psychic? And do you happen to know where I put it? I think I know what happened to it. I mentioned in a previous video or the one before that or whatever that the printer that I've got, a Canon, I think it is. It sucks. It sometimes I think it's the software actually, so maybe it's not the fault of the printer. But, it'll be something that's supposed to be 3 pages, and it will turn out that it'll print like 1 line, and then on the next page 2 lines, and the next page 1 line or something like that. And then a whole bunch of paper, came out that was unprinted on. It came out. And I thought, oh, crap. And I think what I did is just took it, threw it in the trash. And I think that's where my important information was. Oh, help. So yeah, I think it's time to see what I can do now, straighten this thing out a little bit, but it's better than it was. If you're wondering, just watch the previous video and you'll see my problem in the previous video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.